Hello, my dear lovely students of class 4. I am Vidya Rani, your English teacher. So children, today again I have come up with a video for you all that is from Gulmohar book, chapter number 3, Tine and the Faraway Mountain. In the earlier video of mine, children, I had discussed about the same very chapter that was part 1 of Tine and the Faraway Mountain. So today we are going to start with the same very chapter that is part 2 of Tine and the Faraway Mountains. So children, before we start with part 2 of this chapter, let's quickly recapitulate what we had learned in part 1 of this chapter. Like children, it is a story about Tine, a girl who lives in Mismi Hills of Arunachal Pradesh. She enjoys living in the lap of the nature. She enjoys the mountains, everything in whatever was present in the nature. All of a sudden, something unusual happens and she shifts. The whole family of Tine shifts to the town. That is rowing, where she doesn't enjoy. She misses those hilly area. Okay? Later on, she gets admission in a school where she somehow passes 10 years in that very school, and after that she plans to become a potter. So finally she applied in the army to become a potter. Later on, when she got the post of that potter, and later on she dressed herself in the boy's dress, as during those times women were not allowed to become a potter. So finally, how she got success in this was that she disguised herself in the boy's dress and got that potter's post in army. But later on, this couldn't be the secret. It was revealed to the officers of the army, who got angry on her. Up till here, children, we had ended part 1. So let us now proceed with part 2 of this chapter. So children, put your fingers where am I reading. The officers scolded Tine for breaking the rules, but they knew that Tine knew the route better than anyone else. So they allowed her to continue working. Her act would later help lift the ban on female potters. Now when the army officers came to know that she was not a boy, but she was a girl disguised in boy's dress, then they got angry. They got angry with her for breaking the rule. But they knew that Tine knew the route of the mountain areas very well, better than others who were in the army. So they allowed her to carry on with this profession, that was a potter. Her act would later And this act would later, she thought that it would lift the ban. Ban means what, children? Ban means what? Ban means a law that does not allow people to do something. Okay? It was banned, no, for the females to be potter. But since Tine was, as a potter, she was working in the army, so she thought that if I become a potter later on, this ban on females to become a potter will be removed. So children, put your fingers to the next paragraph. Where am I reading? In the army, Tine worked on many expeditions and soon became a coordinator. It was on one of her expeditions as a coordinator that she met Dr. Romeo Mitty. At that time, Dr. Mitty was working to promote adventure sports in Arunachal Pradesh and immediately identified Tine's talent. Now, the army officers were very happy with Tine because she carried on working for the expeditions of the army, and later on she was made the coordinator. Coordinator means what, children? Someone who plans to trip to the mountain. Okay, she was made the coordinator of the group. Okay, and while doing expedition, she meets whom, children? Dr. Romeo Mitty. This Dr. Mitty was working to promote adventure sports in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay? Exciting sports, children, like mountaineering, white water rafting, and so on. Okay? And immediately identified Tine's talent. Now, when he met with Tine, he identified her talent. The way she used to carry all the expeditions successfully. Okay? You are a natural gifted climber, he told her. You have the strength and determination. Now, all you need is technique. Now, this Dr. Mitty, what he said to whom, children? To Tine. He said to Tine that you are a natural gifted climber. You are God-gifted climber. The only thing is that you need some techniques to overcome some of the troubles during expeditions. Okay? And he even said that you have strength. What you have? You have that much courage, that much strength and determination. You have strong desire to do something. Determination means what, children? Strong desire to do something. She had that in herself. So, this Dr. Mitty said that only you need is the technique to overcome some of the problems. Dr. Mitty became Tine's mentor and she began her training as a mountain climber. Now, Dr. Mitty became Tine's mentor. Mentor means what, children? The one who guides, the one who teaches. Okay? So, Dr. Mitty became her mentor and started training her for mountain climbing. The distant mountain still called her. Now, she could hear the calls from the mountain. She could imagine that the mountains are calling her. Okay? But Tin did not know the name of the distant mountains till she watched the race for Everest, a film about the first climb of Mount Everest. Whoosh became a roar now, and climbing Mount Everest became her dream. Now that distant call, what she used to hear from the mountain children, she couldn't make it out, okay, till the time she saw one film. What was the name of the film, children? The film's name was The Race for Everest. What was the film's name? The Race for Everest. That was a film about what? A first climber of Mount Everest. The one who had climbed Mount Everest. Now that sound started calling her. That which sound, children? In the earlier video I had told you about it. That was whoosh. That was the call of the wind. It started roaring and climbing Mount Everest. Now this Tin made a strong determination that one day she will climb Mount Everest. That became her dream, children. After months of preparations, Tin finally reached Everest base camp in Nepal. It was bitterly cold and the air was thin. Tin trained there for a few days to get accustomed to the harsh weather and then began to climb. The climb was difficult. Now after months of preparation, now Tin finally reached where, children? Everest. That was her dream, to climb that Everest, that base camp of Nepal. Near the base. Base means what? The lower part of the mountain. That is base. Okay? The base camp, there was a camp set at the base of Everest. That was in Nepal. But the weather was bitterly cold. Bitterly cold means rough weather was there and it was extreme cold. And the air was thin. And air was thin means what? Not ample air was there to breathe. Okay, children? Tin trained there for a few days. She got training there for a few days to get accustomed. Accustomed means what, children? To get used to. Okay? Used to that harsh weather. And then she began to climb that Mount Everest. She kept that dream inside her and she started climbing Mount Everest. The climb was, although it was very difficult, children, but she had strong determination. She was very much willing to climb Mount Everest, and that dream was inside her. Till here, children, I end. Okay, I'll carry on the same very chapter in part 3. Okay, children, till that, please take care. Keep on reading this chapter. Understand the difficult words, learn new words, meanings of it, and the hard spellings. Okay, children? Take care. Bye.